Hey, good day. It's Market Matters. I'm Nadia Hassan and she's Charlotte Chong. For things that mean the news today, this came in the afternoon. We're talking about Astro Malaysia Holdings Bhd. The share price reacted quite positively, 1.15% up. Okay, so what happened was they said they have secured the exclusive rights for the English Premier League. I know if I say it wrong, I'll get lynched. For the next 3 seasons starting from 2016/17. CEO Henry Tan actually came out and in the statement and said, it strengthened its position as the home of sports and unrivaled choice of sports fans by winning all the rights to the Premier League. So all of this will come under them. So interesting, do you watch football?
I don't.
I watch sometimes.
I'm not a big fan of football.
No, but it's really funny to see Malaysian fans and Thailand fans being described as near radical, near lunatic. The way they love it is almost borderline lunacy. And so the interesting thing I wanted to point out from this is the price tag wasn't given.
Yeah, press conference didn't say anything at all.
Yeah.
No, but Henry actually said that sport fans can look forward to major sporting events like, UEFA, Euro 2016, Rio 2016 Olympics, Thomas and Uber Cup. But guess what? Can you actually expect how much Astro
paid for this? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, of course, these days competition in pay TV is getting tougher. People talk a lot about cutting the cord, but that happens more in the States, not so much here. I think rural, they still actually rely on TV as most of it. Netflix, of course, made its way here. iFlix, of course, is already here. So how do you compare? You have to compare on content, and that's what Astro's doing. You see them with like Ola Bola content, you can't miss the movie. It's absolutely everywhere, and it's not that bad, by the way.
So actually, I talked to Asran Osman Rani a couple of weeks ago, and he said that with Netflix coming to Malaysia, actually it's good. It's complementing their business. But we're talking Astro anyway.
But to be fair, what would you expect him to say? No, we're pretty much screwed. I don't think he's going to say that. He's not the kind of mind. But fine, people are more accepting of it. But let's get back to the price. How much will this cost Astro? They did not actually say in in the press release how much it's going to cost them. For their homeland of UK, it's costing Sky TV and BT in the range of £5.136 billion sterling, which is about a 71 increase that's how much it's going to cost them to actually do their matches. That means each game that they're broadcasting costs 10.19 million UK pounds sterling, which is quite kind of bonkers.
About 168 games altogether.
Yeah, but the interesting thing is how much, that's the money they make at home, how much are they making overseas?
Now, just now I looked at the same website as well. They got paid about 3.2 billion quid per year for all these games.
Exactly. So that's the interesting thing about this, right? So how much, we're going back to the whole thing again. So how much did Malaysia pay for these rights? How much did Astro pay out for these rights?
So for last year, it's about 200 over million.
Well, so basically, historically in the last one, according to stats we've seen on Daily Mail, UK actually paid 128 million quid, which in current translation is 775.68. It worked out to about 42.7 million pounds, which is about 258.7 million a year. That was the last year.
Let's look at Hong Kong. Hong Kong actually paid the same amount as last year for 3 years. For the
last season, yes.
Now Let TV, you mentioned about Let TV. It's a young company. They have paid about 87.7 million quid per year for the EPL rights. If you compare this figure to what they have paid last year, it's actually a double.
Yes, exactly. So we have to be clear on one thing, right? Hong Kong paid the same for the last time as this is what Malaysia paid for the same the last time. We're not saying that they actually paid the same amount. Of course, we have to be very clear before we get emails. But this is how much Let TV paid. And Let TV actually outbid everybody when they actually paid for this price tag. Some places rights actually went down. Thailand, which is even more fanatical, actually paid slightly less for their rights this time. So if you put it somewhere in the middle, at the highest end, Astro could be paying 1.5 billion ringgit for these rights. On the lower end, it could be the same deal. So we'll have to see how that actually kind of goes. But just to wrap it up for you, we are looking at Astro. The reason is because they got the EPL rights. Question mark, how much did it cost them? If you follow Hong Kong's benchmarking, it could be 1.5 billion for the entire kit and caboodle, or it could be less than that, but we don't know the pricing, so we're just based on historical things here. Moving on, of course, to our final broker's call. It has such a wordy name, but I do like it. Basically, MMHE, Malaysia Marine Heavy Engineering. These guys closed flat at 92 cents, and we're looking at 2 reports today, TA and Kenanga.
Now, TA actually has a sell call with lower TP of 1 ringgit, and Kenanga upgraded its rating on market perform with unchanged TP of also 1 ringgit. TA Research, I looked at the report just now, and they say FY15 results of MMHG actually exceeded its expectations. Group registered loss before tax of 49.8 million against profit before tax of 39.3 million last year. And this is also because of both goodwill and assets.
Okay, so Kenanga, they also were in that thing where they were actually underperformed. But the reason why they sort of shifted up was they said a better risk ratio reward because there was a whole spate of share price weakness, really share price weakness if you can see by the price. So it raised actually its earnings forecast for MMHE by 14% because they thought there would be stronger revenue coming in from the marine division for them.
So TA is actually less optimistic if you compare with Kenanga. TA's current order book is about 1.12 billion and is mainly anchored by 4 rapid packages and F12 Kumang WHP. Tender book 8.4 billion ringgit comprises mainly of Malaysian bids. I guess they are having problems, getting bids from overseas.
Well, I think anything that's to do with oil and gas, I think you're just going to have a little bit of tough time. People are massively cutting back capex, as we've all seen for everybody. So these guys, they have to just find their jobs in the meantime. And Kenanga does feel a little bit happier. They do feel that MHB is increasing that tender for onshore jobs and prefab work, especially from Rapid at the moment. And they did say that their core net profit that they saw of 83.1 million did beat the estimates by 142. But if you actually look at on the surface in terms of net profit, they actually made a net loss for this particular quarter.
Now, although TA Research is less optimistic, compared with Kenanga, but they say MMHG is interested to diversify to other business, not other business like property, but other
thank
works,
God. That would be
including
really weird.
HSAR, hookup and commissioning, and crane works. So hopefully all these, little sector or little business could actually help facilitate more profits to companies.
MMHE houses. What do you think?
No.
Very utilitarian.
No.
Okay, fine. We're just going to be a bit playful with them. Anyway, so just to wrap it up for you today, we're looking at MMHG for our broker's call, and the reason for that is because they have two different views. TA Research has a sell on them, they don't believe in them at a target price of 1, and Kenanga has upgraded also, but they also didn't change their target price, it's still 1. So we'll have to see different sentiments, but different universes as well. So yes, that's all for us today. I'm Nadia Hassan, she's Charlotte Chong. The Edge Markets is always there for you in case you want some light reading, or if you want some heavier reading, there's always the weekly. It's going to be one more day, guys. Let's hope we ride up the storm all right.